Alright, how about Autocad 2018 Beginning and Intermediate Menachem M. Hamad Autodesk Approved Instructor. Contents about the book. Preface. Chapter 1. AutoCAD 2018 Basics. Starting AutoCAD. AutoCAD 2018 Interface. Application Menu. Quick Access. Toolbar. Ribbons. Info Center. Command Window. Graphical Area. Status Bar. Start Bar. AutoCAD Defaults. What is my drawing unit? Creating a new AutoCAD drawing. Opening existing AutoCAD drawing. File tab. Closing drawing files. Undo. Redo. Command. Practice 1, AutoCAD Basics, Chapter Review Answers. Chapter 2, Precise Drafting in AutoCAD 2018, Drafting Priorities, Drafting Lines, Using Line Command when Dynamic Input, AutoCAD, Example Showing Prompts, Example Specifying Lengths and Angles, Drawing Lines due to the Dynamic Input, Exact Angles, ortho and polo, tracking, incremental angle, additional angles, polar angle measurement, exact angles, precision drafting using object snap, active running O-snap, override, object snap, drawing circles using circle command, drawing circles, arcs using arc command, objects related circles and arcs using object snap, tracking O-snap, drawing using O-snap, O-track, drawing using O-snap and O-track, drawing lines, arc using polyline command, converting polyline to lines, arc and vice versa, converting polylines to lines to arcs, and joining arcs to form a polyline, drawing polylines, converting using snap grid, specify accurately. Converting polylines is going too slow. Now it's going too fast. Alright, converting lines to lines to arc, vice versa, converting polylines to arcs, joining lines, arcs to form a polyline. Practice 2.5, drawing polylines, converting using snap grid to specify points accurately. Using polar snap, snap grid, small projection, chapter review answers, chapter 3, modifying commands, part 1, how to select objects, AutoCAD, window mode, crossing mode, window polygon mode, crossing polygon mode, lasso section, fence mode, previous and all modes, other methods, selecting objects, selecting cycling, exercising command, select objects, erase command, moving command, nudge functional, moving objects, copy command, copying objects, rotating command, reference option, rotating objects, scale command, scaling reference option, scaling objects. Mirror command, practice 3.6, mirroring objects, sketch command, stretch command, stretching objects, stretching objects, and practice stretching object 3.8, length of object, lengthening objects, joining objects, lengthening, joining objects, using grip, edit objects, grip, dynamic input, grips, perpendicular tangent, O-snap, grips, 3.10, using grips of edit objects, chapter 3 review answers. Chapter 4, Modifying Commands, Part 2, Introduction, Offsetting Objects, Offset, using Offset Distance Option, Offset, using Throw Option, using Multiple Objects, Offsetting Objects, Practice 1 and 2, Filleting Objects, Practice Filleting Objects, Chamfering Objects, using Distance Option, and Chamfering using Distance Angle, Practice 4.4, Chamfering Objects, Trimming Objects, extending objects, extended objects, array objects, rectangular array, first step, using array, creation context tabs, editing rectangular array using grips, editing regular array using context tabs, editing rectangular arrays using quick properties, arraying objects using rectangular array, arraying objects pathway array, arraying objects using path, arraying objects using polar array, break command, break objects, chapter review answers, layer, chapter 5, layers, inquiring commands, layer concept in AutoCAD, creating, setting layer properties, how to create a new layer. How to set a color for the layer, how to set a line type for the layer, how to set a line weight for the layers, how to set a current layer, setting layer properties, layer control, controlling layer visibility, locking and plotting, deleting, renaming layers, how to make an object layer, a current layer, how to undo layer only layer actions, moving objects from one layer to another while you are in layer property manager, layer controls, changing objects layers, quick properties, end properties, reading instantaneous information about an object, how to move an object from a layer to another layer with a quick property, quick properties, what is property, changing object layer, quick properties and properties, inquire commands, introduction, measuring distances, inquiring radiuses, measuring angles, measuring area, how to calculate simple area, how to calculate complex area, inquiry commands, practice inquiry commands, practice 5, 4 and 4, 5, 4 and 4, 5, 5, chapter view answers, chapter 6 blocks and hatch, why do you need blocks, how to create a block, how to use insert blocks, block insert points, OSNAP, creating, inserting blocks, exploding blocks, converting them to files, exploding blocks, converting blocks to files, exploding, converting, hatching in the auto command, hatching command first step, controlling hatch property for the 6.3, inputting hatch and controlling hatch properties, specifying hatch origin, controlling hatch options, how to create associative hatching, how to make your hatch additive, how to make properties to create identical hatches, hatching in an open area, creating separate hatches in the same command, island detection, set hatch, draw order, hatch origin options, hatch boundary, edit hatching, practice hatch origin options, 610 hatch boundaries, 611 edit hatch, 65 practice hatch, 65 hatch boundaries, hatch editing, chapter 3, chapter 6 review and review answers. Chapter 7 writing test, writing text using single line text. Practice 7.1 creating textile, single line text, writing text with multi-line textile, panel formatting, panel, paragraph panel, insert panel, spell check panel, tool panel, option panel, close panel while you are in text editor, writing using multiple line text. Text editing, double-click text, quick properties for the editing using grips, for them 4, spell check, find and replace, practice 7.3, editing text chapter review. Chapter 8, dimension, what is a dimension, AutoCAD dimension types, how to insert a linear dimension, insert a angled line, align dimension, insert an angular dimension, insert linear, aligned, and angular dimensions, practice 8.1, how to insert arc length dimension, 8.7, how to insert radius dimension, 8.8, insert diameter dimension, insert arc length, radius, and diameter dimension, how to insert jog dimension, how to insert ordinated dimension, inserting dimensions, insert series of dimension using coordinate continuing command, insert series of dimensions using a baseline command, 8.4 continuing command, baseline command, using quick dimension command, using dimension command, dimension special layer, editing dimension block using grips, editing dimension block using right-click menu, edit dimension block using quick properties and properties, quick dimension, and editing practice 8.6, chapter review answers, chapter 9, plotting, what is model space, what is paper space, introduction layout, steps to create the new layout from scratch, steps to create the new layout using a template, creating a layout using copying, practice 9.1, creating new layouts, 9.6, creating viewports, adding single rectangular viewports, adding multiple rectangular viewports, adding polygonal viewports, creating viewports, converting existing objects, creating viewports by clipping existing viewports, dealing with viewports after creation, scaling, maximizing viewports, freezing layers in viewports, layer override in viewports, practice 9.2, creating and controlling viewports, chapter 9.10, plot command, chapter review, review answers, chapter 10, projects, how to prepare your drawing for a new project, architectural project, imperial, architectural project, metric, mechanical project 1, mechanical project 2, imperial, mechanical project 2, metric, mechanical project 2, imperial, chapter 11, war on 2D objects, introduction, drawing using rectangular command, chamfer option, elevation option, fillet option, thickness option, width option, area option, dimension option, rotation option, drawing using polygon command, using imaginary circle, using length and arc on one of the edges, drawing rectangular and polygons, practice 11.11.1, drawing using donut command, using drawing revision command, cloud command, drawing a donut in a revision cloud, Using editing polyline command, open and close options, join an option, width option, edit vertex option, fit spline, decurve options, line type, L-type generator option, reverse option, multiple option, polyline edit command, using construction lines and rays, using construction lines, using rays, using construction line and rays, using point style point command, using point style command, using point command, using divide and measure command, divide command, using measure command, divide and measure commands with block option, using point style point, divide, measure, practice 11.5, 11.10, using spline command, using fit points method, using control vertex method, editing a spline, using a spline command, edit ellipse command, drawing ellipse using the center option, drawing ellipse using the axis points, drawing an elliptical arc, using ellipse command, using boundary command, using boundary command, using region command, performing bowling options on region, using region command, chapter 3 review, chapter review answers. Chapter 12, Advanced Practices, Part 1, Offset Command, Advanced Option, Array Source Option, Layer Option, System Variable Offset, and Gap Type, Trim Extend Edge Option, using Advanced Option, Offset and Trim Extended, using Match Properties, Copy Paste Object Match Properties, Cross Files, Copying Pasting Objects, using Drag Drop Depth Method, Matching Properties across files, using Match Properties, Copy Paste across files, sharing Excel, Word, content in AutoCAD, sharing data coming from MS Word, showing data coming from MS Excel, pasted link table from Excel, sharing Excel, Word, content in AutoCAD, hyperlinking AutoCAD objects, Practice 12.4, purging items, chapter 12.5, using view and viewports, creating a viewport, creating views using view and viewports, create name viewport arrangement method 1, creating name viewport arrangement method 2, using views and viewport, chapter review, practice answer, chapter 13, advanced practices, part 2, using Autodesk Content Explorer, practice 13.1, using Autodesk Content Explorer, using quick select, practice 13.2, using select similar, add selected similar command, add selected command. What's the object visibility in AutoCAD? Practice 13.3, using select and similar, added selected advanced layer commands, using isolate, unisolate command, using freeze off and off commands for turn on all layers and thaw all layers command. Using lock, unlock commands, changing current layer command, changing copy objects to new layer command. Use layer walk command, using isolate current view command, using merge command. Using delete command, layers transparency, using advanced layer commands, using fields in AutoCAD, Use partially open files, how to open a file partially, using a partial load, using partially open option, object, open files, chapter review answers. Using blocks and tools and block editing, automatic scaling feature, Design Center, using Design Center, tool palettes, how to create a tool palette from scratch, how to file with a new palette with the content, how to create a palette with a Design Center blocks, how to customize tool properties and attach tool palette, using tool palettes, customizing tool palettes, allowing docking, transparency, view options, add text, add separators, new, delete, rename palette, customize palettes, customizing tooling palettes, edit blocks, editing blocks, chapter review answers, chapter 15, creating text and table style formulas and tables, steps in creating text and table, how to create a text style, creating a text style, single line text, creating a table style, general tab, text tab, border tabs, insert table in drawing, specify insertion point option, specify window option. 15.2, creating a table cell, inserting tables into the current drawing, using formulas in table cell, using table cell function, using rows, columns, and panels, merge panel cells, cell formats, insert panel, data panel. Practice is formula tab, cell functions, chapter review answers. 15. Chapter 16, dimensioning multi-leader styles. What a dimension AutoCAD. What create with the new dimension style, dimension style lines tab, dimension style symbol in the arrows tabs, dimension style tabs, 6 tabs, style fit tab, primary units tab, alternate unit tab, Dimension style tile insert tab is creating a dimension substyle, creating a dimension style, more dimension functions, dimension break, dimension adjust space, jog line, oblique, text angle, justify, override, more dimension functions, associate center line, center mark, center mark, center line, center mark, property, center line, center mark, practice, how to create multi-leader style, leader format tab, leader structure tab, content tab, inserting multi-layer dimension, creating a multi-layer style, inserting multi-layers, chapter review answers. Chapter 17, plot style and noted and exporting plot style tables. First look, color dependent and plot style table. Name plot style table, color dependent plot style stable, name plot style table to practice. What a noted feature, a noted practice a noted feature. Exporting drawing or DWF and PDF introduction, exploring DWF and DWFX, exporting to a PDF using a batch plot command, using a DWF, DWX, or PDF files, creating a view of the DWF file, chapter review answers, how to create template file interface and customization, template file with how you can create it, editing the template file, editing a template file, customizing interface. Introduction, creating a new panel, creating a new tab. How to quick access toolbar, creating a new workspace, customizing an interface, how to create your own commands, creating new commands, chapter review answers, chapter 19, parametric constraints. What are parametric constraints, geometric constraints, coincident constraints, and collinear constraints, and concentric constraints, fixed constraints, parallel constraints, perpendicular constraints, horizontal constraints, vertical constraints, tangent constraints, smooth and symmetric constraints, equal constraints, geometric constraints, settings and infer constraints, auto constraints, constraint bar, showing and hiding, constraint bar, showing and hiding, relaxing over constraining object, relaxing constraints, over constraints on an object, applying geometric constraints, using dimensional constraints, linear and horizontal and vertical constraints, align constraints, radial diameter constraints, using angular constraints, using convert command, controlling dimensional constraint setting dialog box, deleting constraints, showing and hiding dimensional constraint, using parameter manager with denoting an annotation constraint mode, converting dimensional constraints to an annotational, using dimension grip, applying dimensional constraint, chapter review, dynamic blocks, introduction to dynamic blocks method to create a dynamic block using block definition dialog box, double clicking this on the existing block editor command, inserting inside the block editor, what are the parameters of action, controlling parameter properties, visibility parameters, using lookup parameters and using lookup parameter in action, final step, dynamic block, creating a chest of drawers, dynamic door control, wired flange beams, practice using constraint and dynamic block table button, construction button, constraint status button, dynamic block using constraints, wide flange beam, practice, dynamic block using constraint, creating windows, chapter review answers, block attributes. What are block attributes? How to define attribute, the attributed part of the mode part, text of the setting part, insertion point part, inserting blocks and attributes, how to control attributed visibility, define inserting block with attributes, how to individually edit individual attributed values, how to edit attributed values, get globally, editing attributed values, individually and globally, redefine sync and attributed definitions, redefine attributed definitions, how to extract attributes from files, extracting attributes, chapter review answers, external referencing, XRF or REF, introducing external referencing and inserting external references in different file formats, attaching a drawing file, inserting an image file, attaching a DWF file, attaching a DGN file, attaching a PDF file, external reference palette command, attach command for reference file layers, controlling fading of reference files, attaching, editing external reference WG files, editing reference command, opening command, external reference file related to file, unload, reload command, detach command, command, bind command, XRF type path, select a new path, Find and replace external referencing, editing, clipping an external reference file, right-clicking on the reference file, DWF image, and right-click DWF and DWG external file clipping. A control using eTransmit command external reference files using eTransmit command. Chapter review answers. Chapter 23, sheet set, introduction to sheet sets, dealing with sheet sets manager palette. How to open and close existing sheet set, how to deal with the sheet set manager palette, sheet set file setup, opening, manipulating, closing sheet sets using example, adding a sheet into subset sheeting control, creating a sheeting set using a sheet set example, and SCAD modeling views, add and scale model views, adding scale model views, sheet set existing drawing, creating a sheet set using existing drawing, publishing sheet set using eTransmit archive, using eTransmit command. Using archive command, publishing eTransmit, sheet set, chapter review answers. Chapter 24 CAD standards, advanced layers. Why do you need CAD standards? How do you create CAD standard file? How do you link DWS to DWG, then make a check configuration of DWS to DWG, checking the DWG file. Using CAD standard command and commands, using layer translator, dealing with layer property managers, creating a group property filter, creating a group filter, and then you can do with filters, property file, filter menu, group filter menu, layer advanced features and filters, creating a layer set, using layer set, states, settings up dialog box. New layer notification, isolate layer settings, dialog settings, using link setting dialog box, chapter review answers. Chapter 15, importing PDF into design views, introduction, importing PDF file, importing a PDF underlay, dealing with the SHX files, importing PDF file, creating design views, chapter review answers, and then indexer, 25 chapters.